Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gold's Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. Do we have a few jazz fans in the room? All right, all right. What a joy it is to welcome you to the United Nations. And yes, I can feel it already. We're a little jazzed up. At the United Nations Office for Partnerships, we know that culture is a force for social change, and there's no better example than jazz. Music born from resilience, collaboration, and the insistence that every voice deserves to be heard. We're going to hear from women who are rewriting the score, breaking barriers and creating space in an industry that has not always created space for them. These leaders have carved their own paths, and they've lifted others as they reach new heights, while amplifying music for justice and equity. Let's always be reminded that representation matters. A big thank you to our partners, WBGO, a global leader in jazz radio, and Jazz House Kids, a renowned arts and education and performance organization. So let's keep this incredible energy that I'm feeling right now flowing. And with that, I'm going to introduce Stephen Williams, president of WBGO. Welcome to the stage.
There we go. All right, there we go. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Yeah, wonderful looking group of people today. Thank you for taking time to hang out with us. I'm promising you won't be disappointed. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to this celebration of women in jazz, a gathering that recognizes and elevates the artistry, resilience, and transformative power of women whose voices and creativity have shaped one of the world's most influential traditions. I'm sure we can agree upon that. Jazz has always been a force that transcends borders and languages. And tonight, we shine a well-deserved spotlight on the women who have carried its spirit forward, innovators, storytellers, and trailblazers whose contributions continue to inspire new generations. For me, personally, this event also carries a very special meaning. Standing here in this citadel of collaboration and cultural exchange, nearly 20 years after working here in this very place as a member of the radio unit for several years. These hallowed halls brings back memories, vivid memories of accomplishment and profound and energizing sense of contributing to a global purpose that defines this institution. The UN has always been a place where diverse voices come together and uplift humanity, and tonight's celebration embodies that same spirit, reminding us how music can build bridges, foster understanding, and reflect our shared aspirations. As we gather to honor these remarkable women and the rich heritage of jazz, let us celebrate not only their musical achievements, but also the courage and creativity that continues to shape and protect the ideas and ideals of a more thoughtful and inclusive world. Thank you for joining us for what promises to be an inspiring and joyful evening. It is my pleasure now to introduce my dear friend and a whirlwind of creativity and stewardship, founder and president of Jazz House Kids, Melissa Walker.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you. You know, WBGO has gotten me into more interesting things. I don't think Jazz House would be here today if it weren't for WBGO when they invited me to do a program for kids. And I went and sang, and I built a jazz house, and I've been building jazz houses ever since for 25 years, and now to be here with you today. And so it is a deep honor to be here as we celebrate Women's History Month. And with the United Nations Office for Partnerships, Anne-Marie, thank you so much for having us here. And thank you to your extraordinary team for helping us put this together. You know, we so value the mission of the UN. And we are grateful for your leadership and your commitment to fostering global dialogue and cultural exchange and understanding. You know, speaking of having a dialogue, today we're going to have two. We're going to have one on stage with an all-star ensemble and off stage, so to speak. And we're going to have a conversation about inclusion and whose voice will matter. And so it's my pleasure to bring to this stage this outstanding group of women artists, educators, and cultural leaders who are shaping our present and pointing the way to our future. And they are continuing to challenge the long-standing gender barriers that face so many of us. Today, we'll explore how women are driving change and using music as a powerful platform for storytelling, advocacy, and community building. So it gives me a great honor to bring to the stage a good friend, a tremendous vocalist, as you will hear, a composer, a band leader, and an educator, and internationally acclaimed vocalist, powerful voice. She has performed at so many of the major festivals around the world. She's an educator at Montclair State University. She's a teacher for the youth program at Jazz at Lincoln Center. She's a prestigious alum of the Betty Carter School of Music. And she has, and her path brings up so many of the great singers of Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, as well as the trailblazers of this music of Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Nancy Wilson, and her favorite, Diane Reeves. Come to the stage, Brianna Thomas. Thank you. Brianna. Hey there.
Hello.
It's so great to see you.
So good to see you.
I think we're here. Yes. Our next esteemed guest is Michelle Taylor, founder and managing director of Passion Music Group and the Artist Management Music Marketing Company. Michelle Taylor is a trailblazer in this music as an executive and arts manager with a distinguished career that spans more than 3 decades across major labels, artist management, and music advocacy. She's a manager of a Grammy Award-winning pianist and composer and a Jazz House alum, Matthew Whitaker, the nominee and 2-time Grammy nominee and vocalist, Christy DeShield, dynamic group of the String Queens. Let's bring to the stage Michelle Taylor, someone I have known for about that long.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, so excited to have you meet a young woman, if you haven't already. Ella Bric, Venezuelan-born singer, songwriter, producer, trumpeter, actress. She's working to be an EGOT. Yes, she is. She is a 2-time Grammy winner. Ella has become a prolific producer on Rise in the Latin music space. She's known for blending jazz improvisation with Afro-Venezuelan rhythms and global influences. Internationally recognized voice in contemporary jazz and Latin music. She grew up surrounded by culturally minded and socially conscious community, and she's trained in El Sistema, and her music highlights her curiosity about life and music. When not on the road, she teaches at the Louis Armstrong House. Please welcome to the stage this very special guest, Ella Bric. So, this is an honor and quite a distinction to be here with you. You know, we are here to celebrate women in jazz as well as women who are trailblazers in this music, not today and pointing the way for the future. And I'd like to say, what first brought you to the dance in jazz, and what keeps you in the music and making music, and the challenges that you face, but yet and still you persevere?
I will say, for me, I remember distinctly when I was 8 years old, my father was a big jazz fan and would have all kinds of music playing throughout the house. And one thing I remember distinctly is on Saturday mornings, he would put the music, the speakers in the basement to the yard. And I would press my forehead to the screen of my bedroom, listening to this music. And I didn't know what I was listening to, but I knew that I liked it. And it stuck with me through, when I became an adult, I knew that this is what I want to do. And if I just may tell a little story, my career actually began at WBGO. I needed to get into the business, and I knew that I was just out of school and no one knew me, but everybody can use free help. So I volunteered at WBGO. And and through that, I met the promotion head of promotion at Blue Note Records, and that's where I began my career, promoting jazz. And my company is Passion Music Group because it is a passion for me. It's been a passion for me since I was 8 years old. And it's rare when you're blessed to have the opportunity to do exactly what you love. And I work with amazing artists and people. And every day, it sounds cliche, but every day I look forward to sitting at my desk and seeing what the challenges of the day will bring. And what keeps me loving it is the challenges and the amazing artists, how many beautiful young musicians are coming up and pushing the music forward. So many women are becoming deal makers, making deals, pushing the music forward, making spaces for women all across the globe. So I'm excited every day about doing what I do.
You know, that feeling of when you wake up every day with purpose.
Yes.
It's just easier to move through the day.
Yes.
And, I guess, how do you feel about that, Brianna? 'Cause
I
you certainly lead and sing with purpose.
Yes.
Thank you. I definitely grew up in a household that my father was a drummer and a vocalist, and a very prominent one in Peoria, Illinois, where I'm from. And it was just like learning how to speak English or the language that was spoken in the household. Music is a language, and I came to it that way. I came to it learning my ABCs and learning how to sing melodies. So it was very natural, and it wasn't, I was very fortunate to have several opportunities, mentors, teachers that pushed me, that looked out for me, gave me tapes of people to listen to, recognized things in me that I hadn't seen in myself. But programs like the Betty Carter Jazz Ahead program, where you write your own music, that was my first time as a composer. That was my aha moment. I heard an idea from my imagination and shared it in a communal setting with people, and they made something out of it that I could not ever have even thought of. And I was intoxicated by it, and that's one of the biggest reasons I'm still hanging on.
Well, Ella, what brought you to the dance and what keeps you here?
Very similar. My dad is a jazz drummer, but I feel like what keeps me going is trying to find a common ground between people who not necessarily are artists, but to remind each other of our humankind and to use tenderness and love as a way of resisting these times. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what keeps me doing what I do. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say about it.
I love that you brought up kind of a quote from Nina Simone about that. Share that with us.
She said in an interview, how can you be an artist and not reflect the times that we're living in? Yeah. And that's something that really had an impact on myself as an immigrant, as someone who had to, move to New York City, be in spaces where I had to learn a different language and learn a different music. So that, to me, it came with a responsibility. And at the beginning, I thought that the responsibility was just be involved politically or just be able to use my music as as a tool for protest, but also I feel like in the context of being a woman, it's just occupying the spaces, living in the spaces, and just exist and make whoever needs to be uncomfortable by my presence.
And move forward by your presence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Brianna, you've also shared that, in terms of that being a leader is also being a follower, a great listener. And with your audience, what do you hope for them? And how do you view that?
I view every audience, everyone that comes into the room with their own lives, their own experiences, their own triumphs and, disappointments and everything in between. And each member of the audience has an experience in that moment, but somehow the music that's happening on the stage connects everyone together in a moment. And so I hope for my audiences that they come into the moment with trust. And if they don't come into it with trust, I hope to gain it on the first two. And
Yeah.
I hope that they come in to have a shared experience. And I think that's the best part about music, is that music creates a round table. And everybody can find their spot at the table. And there's no one there to tell you that's not right, this is not this. So-and-so can be crying tears of joy, and so-and-so over here can be crying tears of grief. But at the same time, it's an experience that is understood by the spirit and soul. And so serving the music means serving the moment, means serving. Sometimes you gotta sing a sad song, usher people into the tears they needed to cry. And sometimes it's about jubilation and celebration and just being able to be that kind of conduit. And it takes a lot of courage and dedication, but the audiences are so, I find that the audiences, they give too. There's an energy. It's like you dance, we dance. And so I hope that.
I think at Jazz House, a parent said to me, the Jazz House is like a campfire. And, coming from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, without a lot of money, camping was something you did often. And that notion of coming around and welcoming people to the warmth of the campfire. And then, I just think that's such a powerful moment. And this music that we do, we are living in the moment. It is of the moment. Michelle, you work with a number of artists from really kind of different backgrounds and spectrums. That wasn't something that was done a lot before. You kind of pick your lane. And you also have artists who are crossing genres. Tell me what you've noticed as this executive, in the industry over time. What has had to happen to make that possible? And what did artists do to kind of push open those doors?
Well, what I have found now in the industry, it's changed a lot in that, well, one thing was when I was in the corporate environment back in 100 years ago, you couldn't really have a side hustle. But I knew that I always wanted to work with artists in a deeper capacity. But now everybody has a side hustle. Yeah. So that's one thing. And I think, you were talking about leadership and being an artist manager and, listening. You were mentioning listening. It's so important that me as a manager, that I listen to my clients and I understand what it is that they want, where they want to go, what they want for themselves, what they want for their families. And that's how we move it forward. I am sort of there to help them get to that point that they want to get to. And I don't know if it's gotten any easier because we still have the same, especially now with having come out of the pandemic when everybody was just coming back up to speed. The money was less, or non-existent. So we had to find a way the artists still wanted to work, still needed to work. And so we needed to find a way to make that happen. And I think that listening to what they would do and what they wouldn't do was very helpful. And again, that's important in moving the music forward, moving the art forward, is being able to work together as a team to get to sort of bring to fruition some of those goals and aspirations that my clients have. And they're all different, yes, they're all different. And I love that about my list of clients. They bring their own thing, and I just so enjoy the music, and I enjoy the variety and the diversity of the roster. I never thought that I would work with a 15-year-old blind pianist. But now, having worked with him for 10 years, it's amazing what I've learned.
Special.
Pretty special coming through Jazz House. But I've just learned so much through listening and understanding and seeing the work of artists with disabilities in a completely different way, and the representation that still needs to happen for artists with disabilities, because it's just not there. So both he and I, Matthew and I, we always talk about representation and what we can do to break down those barriers. That's exciting to me. That's yeah.
Ella, you listened to yourself when you were younger. You grew up in El Sistema. You were in classical music. But talk to us about listening to yourself and making those hard decisions to move in directions that perhaps one you weren't trained in, or move into a direction that you felt was right.
Yes. The El Sistema was pretty straightforward education for us. And now that I'm older now, I can see there was no DOG, Department of Education, like trying to see why a kid is rehearsing 12 hours smaller. But we did that, and every day, pretty much. And when I was 16, I got to this crisis where I wanted to be able to be a teenager. I wanted to do my own thing and talk about heartbreak, of things that people will never imagine that I had a crush on them. I wanted to be able to reflect that in my music. And it was a fight because my dad, worked really hard for me to get a spot in the classical orchestra. And he's like, "You're a great trumpet player. What's going to happen? Didn't you want to be with Winton and do classical and jazz and all that?" I'm like, "Sure, but let me just exist." And then I also grew up in a very religious family. So I feel like there was a lot of things that I wanted to say, but I couldn't say them out loud. And that's when I changed my name. I remember I saw Ella Fitzgerald improvising for the first time. And I'm like, I want to be Ella. I'm going to be Ella. And then I hold it for myself. I changed my name in my heart. And then when I moved to New York City, I was able to express myself as an artist. And that inner voice took me to different, that curiosity. When you're a kid, that's why I was talking to Lucas, the kid who was with me in the green room. I'm like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Well, I play drums. But I don't know if I'm a musician." You say that you're a musician. You own it. And I had to talk to myself like that when I was a kid. I wanted to write music for other artists. I wanted to produce, but I didn't know how to do it. But that curiosity took me to learn new stuff. And my mentors, they thought that I was going to go in a certain way, that I was going to be whether a classical musician or a jazz trumpet player. And then in 2011, when Wynton Marsalis finally got to meet me.
I love that. It's a full circle moment, but
I know.
Unsuspectedly.
And then he gave an interview talking about me. And the journalist asked him, what's the next step for her? And he said, she has to put herself in a position to do what she wants to do. And I was like, yes, I can do whatever I want. And then I was able to end up doing pop music, urban, but still jazz has a big part in my heart, and I have so much respect for it, for the art form, for the history as well. So, yeah.
That takes a lot of courage, right? We can all, when you feel that you're not fulfilling the path that you either set for yourself or someone else did. I want to move into thinking about courage, because each one of you have been the first. Brianna, the first, 12 years old, how is it, the African American, you were moved into the, want to get that, the Hall of Fame at the age of 12. That's a lot to put on your shoulders. You even have a day named after you.
Yes.
It's
So when I was 12, I went with a teacher who saw me, a trombonist. I played saxophone. Don't ask. I'm not going to do it. But my teachers made me continue to play saxophone. She took me to Mary Jo Papage, took me to Europe with a big band, and I was inducted into the African American Hall of Fame when I got back. And I didn't understand what it meant. I was there for the cake, and to sing. But my father, he was also inducted after me. I was the first in the family. And then Brianna Thomas Day came about into 2023. I was on tour with Jazz and Lincoln Center's Songs We Love in Pittsburgh, and out of the blue, Pittsburgh made a proclamation declaring February 22nd, mark your calendars, Brianna Thomas Day. And it is a lot to carry, but to whom much is given, much is expected. And I take it very seriously. I've always felt like the power of music. Music says things that words often cannot. And it makes room for people to feel how they feel and be how they are. And back on Ella here, it takes time to become who you are as an artist. And as we give ourselves permission to become who we are, I think somewhere in that space when we share that with people, it's a contagious, infectious feeling, and people feel the freedom that we allow ourselves. So I'm very blessed and so honored, and I look to live up to it every day.
Yeah. Michelle, the first woman, to lead a jazz division. We still see the road that and the work ahead for this music to really fully open its arms. That took a lot of courage, and talk about that. And I also so struck by it was another woman who pulled you forward.
Yes. Yes, I was the first woman to head a jazz division at a major label, Atlantic Records, which was founded on jazz and R&B, the house that Ruth built. And I was at RCA at the time, heading up their marketing division for jazz. And I got a call. One of my mentors said, "Hey, they're going to," because Atlantic Jazz had been dormant for a while, and Ahmet Erdogan, the founder of the label, wanted to start the jazz division up again, and so they were looking for someone to run it. And I heard about it, and I heard that Sylvia Rohn, who is the most powerful woman in the business, African-American woman in the business, was doing the interviewing. And she had a gentleman in mind already. And I said, "Stop the presses. Let me get her my resume." And I got her my resume, and I had an interview the next day. And I had the gig like 2 days later. And it was great. And she always championed other women, but you had to be ready. She was not going to bring you up if you weren't ready. And I was ready. And no one knew more about the music at a label, I didn't believe, than I did. And going into that space, was I nervous? No, honestly, because I knew what I was doing. And like I said, certainly no one at the label, except maybe Ahmet, knew more about the music than I did. And to be sitting in Ahmet's office in front of him when he's talking to me about Shirley Horn and all of these other people, and I'm going back and forth with him, "Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah." He sits and smokes his cigarette. We had a great conversation. So between Sylvia and Ahmet, yeah, I got the gig, and it was great. I just walked into meetings very prepared. And I remember, and I'll tell a quick story. I remember going into the marketing meetings where every department was part of the marketing meetings, and they would always have jazz last. And by the time I got to all of our accomplishments, people were leaving, and they were glazed over, they were tired, or what have you. So one day after one of the meetings, I went into the president's office. His name was Val Azzoli, and I said, "Look, no, his name was Ron Shapiro." And I said, "Ron, we have a lot going on in the jazz department, and we're the only department that has #1 records." And I said, "I want to go first." And he's like, "Well, you know, Michelle, there's a lot going on." But I said, "I need to go first." I said, "Whatever else happens after I go, fine, but I need to go first." And he allowed me to go first. For the remainder of the meetings, I would go first. And I would run off my #1 records. I would run off what we were working on, and everyone was impressed. And then the meetings continued, and I sat through the meetings.
That would be good advice for a young woman, right? Who is forging their path on stage and off. Taking that courage, speaking up for yourself, having that agency. I guess I want to ask you, as we kind of conclude, what might be the advice you'd give to yourself looking back?
Trust your instinct always. And slowest is the fastest way to get where you get. That I got this from Andrew, the Broadway actor. I feel like many times we find each other lost in the way, but sometimes being lost is the best way for us to be found. So always trust your instinct. Yeah.
Brianna, one sentence on that. What would you tell yourself?
I would definitely tell myself to be patient, because slow is the way to win the race. And you become by your experiences, good and bad. And as artists, because we speak for ourselves and for our community and the experiences we're having, I would tell a young woman to trust herself and to trust what she was experiencing. Don't let anybody talk you off that. And to be brave, to share it, because whatever you're going through, someone else is too.
Yeah. I would conclude with that a little bit.
I would just say, follow your passion, be brave, and be prepared.
Very true. Mm-hmm. And I think, I would say, know that you have all that you need, that we possess all that we need to go where we want to go. Mm-hmm. Well, this has been truly a delight to talk with you today. I think when we look ahead, already women are leaning in, and we are trailblazers and standing on the shoulders of so many who have come before us. It has really been a pleasure, and I want to say that we will kind of conclude this, and then we will go into our second part of this evening. You see this wonderful instrument right here, a piano like none other. I think it is called Sing for Hope. Sing for Hope, and that is what we will be doing. We will have an all-star concert with us. With that, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, Ella, Brianna, Michelle, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back. It's great to spend this evening with you. We had our first set in that wonderful panel. We would call this, and jazz, it would be called the late set. And you know what it means when you're in the late set. The late set is the best set. That's the set where all the musicians come out and you do what is called a hang. Now, every musician loves a good hang. So just think about it, just kind of sit back and relax, because this is the late set, the all-star concert that we have for you today. And you will have 4 incredible singers. And you've already heard from Brianna Thomas, and you've heard from Bric, and now you will also hear from Lezlie Harrison, a vocalist. Whoa! And like every good singer, she brings her audience. Radio host, vocalist, curator, based in New York City, known for her rich tone and expressive storytelling. Many of you also know her as the radio host for Singers Unlimited. And Come Sunday, love Come Sunday. She's dedicated to education, specializing in vocal wellness and technique for singers, based in New York City, and she's been performing at venues all over. And she is part of the reason that the Jazz Gallery exists today. Give it up. Jade Ledesna, a Bronx-born jazz vocalist, composer, multidisciplinary performer, acclaimed singer, dynamic blend of jazz, Afro-Latin, global music, sings in 13 languages. Okay, 13. It was hard for her to pick the language that she would sing in today. Yes, it was. Has obviously a deeply global perspective. Her work as an artist and a cultural leader. A graduate of the New School and LaGuardia High School, New York City owned. So we are thrilled to have her with us today. And then next, we're going to talk about our instrumentalists. I am particularly proud to introduce you and bring, I think, to the stage a young woman. Her name is Zoe Abadia. And Zoe is a New York-based saxophonist, composer and educator with a bachelor's and a master's degree from Juilliard. And I must say, you were looking at a lot of photos from Jazz House Kids earlier and Chica Power. And she is the reason behind Chica Power. Wouldn't exist if I didn't have that little conversation. And I said, Zoe, how are you feeling about everything? And, she was like the leader in the band. She was in our big band. Everybody looked up to her and she said, you know what? I'd like to have some other young women in the band. I'd like to not be the only. And so we created Chica Power. And as our motto goes, it is rising and improvising. Zoe Abadia. And next, someone I've known for a long time, on piano, Tomoko Ono. Pianist, Tomoko Ono, Japanese-born pianist, composer, educator, graduate of the Berklee College of Music, international performer and mentor. Come on to the stage. Member of Diva Jazz Orchestra and Five Play. We're getting to play this very special piano. I love that. And on bass, Adi Meyerson. What a deep groove. Israeli-born bassist, composer, bandleader, based in New York City, a leader of the critically acclaimed projects, including her upcoming album, Dark Matter. She's performed with Charlie Pursa, Bria Skomberg. She's a dedicated educator. And I also am happy that you're with the Jazz House, too. See how fortunate we are to have all these tremendous leaders. And last, but certainly not least, Sherry Miracle, acclaimed drummer, composer, arranger, and band leader. She is also the founder and the musical director of the acclaimed Diva Jazz Orchestra. And I've got to say, before it was vogue to be talking about women in jazz, she was a trailblazer holding it down for 33 years. Please give it all up for our amazing all-stars. And we welcome back to the stage to join us, Bric.
Good morning. I don't have a teleprompter, but I have papyrus. This song I'll be doing is from the 1940s, a poem by the Venezuelan poet and politician Andrés Eloy Blanco, with music by the Mexican composer Manuel Álvarez Maciste. I did it. Are you there? Are you there? Check in. Pintor nacido en mi tierra, con el pincel extranjero, pintor que sigues a rumbo de tantos pintores viejos. Aunque la Virgen sea blanca, píntame angelitos negros que también se van al cielo. Todos los negritos buenos. Pintor, si pintas con amor, ¿por qué? Amor, ¿por qué desprecias su color? Si sabes que en el cielo también los quiere Dios. Pintor de santos de la alcoba, si tienes alma en el cuerpo, ¿por qué a pintar en tus cuadros te olvidaste de los negros? Siempre que pintas iglesias, pintas angelitos bellos, pero nunca te acordaste de pintar un ángel negro. Gracias. Pintor, si pintas con amor, ¿por qué desprecias tu color? Si sabes que en el cielo hay también nos quiere Dios. Pintor de santos de la copa, si tienes alma en el cuerpo, ¿por qué a pintar en tus cuadros te olvidaste de los negros? Siempre que pintas iglesias, pintas angelitos feos, pero nunca te acordaste de pintar. De pintar un ángel negro. Un ángel negro. Gracias.
It's kind of hot up here. Jennifer Jade Ledesna. Hello, everybody. This song that I chose was written by the great Abby Lincoln. Abby Lincoln was a great composer and arranger. She was married to the great Max Roach, and well, she was once married to Max Roach. And she was a composer, an arranger, a poet, and activist, actress. She was many things, and she's one of my favorite singers. And she wrote this song called Throw It Away. Think about. I think about the life I've lived, a figure made of clay. I think about the things I've lost, the things I gave away. And when I'm in a certain mood, I search the halls and look. One night I found these magic words in a magic book. Throw it away, throw it away, give it love in your life each and every day. Keep your hand wide open, let the sun shine through, 'cause you can never lose a thing if it belongs to you. There's a hand that rocks the cradle and a hand that helps us stand with a gentle kind of motion as it moves across the land, and a hand unclenched and open gifts of life and love it brings. So keep your hand wide open if you need anything. Throw it away, throw it away, give it love, live your life each and every day. Keep your hand wide open, let the sun shine through. You can never lose a thing if it belongs to you. Keep your hand wide open. Let the sun shine through. But you can never lose a thing if it belongs to you. You can never, ever, It belongs to you. You can never, ever lose a thing if it belongs to you.
What an honor to be up here with all these beautiful people and amazing talent. I am going to sing a song for you that was written by the great Duke Ellington. And it's all about being in a mellow tone. You're going to hear, you'll hear it, I'm not even going to tell you. Just keep your ears peeled. Okay. You guys ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. In a mellow tone, feeling fancy free, and I'm not alone. I've got company. Everything's okay. The live long day with this mellow song. I can't go wrong. I'm in a mellow tone, and that's the way to live. If you've opened home, something's gotta give. So go your way and laugh and play. There's joy unknown in a mellow. You got me hoping, never hoping when you know that I should cry, scream, moan, 'cause you know that'll never ever do. I'd cry all day if it weren't for the joy you bring to me. I pray that you never go away, for surely I'd be sad and gay. The joy you bring to me, I need each and every day. I've got to have it, I can't live my life without it. 'Cause I'm crazy, 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 baby. I cannot keep away from your love. For today and tomorrow with every gift, I realize you're the one that I want to spend my life with. And if we should marry, I know that I'd make you fancy, free, and happy. And wherever we roam, we would never be alone. But there's a joy in a mellow tone.
Something's gotta be. So go your way. Learn and play. There's joy unknown. There's joy unknown. There's joy. There's joy. And sing after that. When we were doing the sound check, I was like telling the sound engineers, can you bring my voice up? Because my voice compared to the other one sounds a little bit like a little nerdy. So, you know, it was the voice that the Lord gave me. So this song I wrote in Medellin while I was on tour with a major artist, and it came after being blocked for many years. Artist block is a real thing, and I was able to do the artist way and really change my life. And this is the first song that I wrote about it, about finding myself again. It's the name of this tune is Medellin. I hope you like it. Mirando a la luna, quiero estar, sabiendo que en el otro lado tú me estás pensando, que la vida me va a ser, pero otro número también. No hay prisa si lo que me falta de mí. Una vez la historia que nunca tenía tanto por ver, y aunque siento que no hay nada, es suficiente menos más. Te quiero mucho, que te sientas feliz otra vez. Su encanto en Medellín es hermosa, esa misma luna en otro lugar, serenata de mí para
para ti y no tengas miedo esta vez. El amor incondicional te encontrará y estaremos bien, bebé. Y te entrego esta carta para que no se te olvide quién fuiste una vez en la historia que nunca termina y tanto por ver. Y aunque sientas que no hay nada que dar, es suficiente ni menos ni más. Yo te llevo conmigo aunque te sientas perdido otra vez. Deja que se vaya esa tristeza, saudade. Thank you. I would like to welcome Brianna Thomas, I feel is everybody. Everybody, it's time to come up to the... Oh, Melissa, you come here. Something you don't know about Melissa, she's a wonderful singer. Come over here. Come on, come on.
Every day I have the blues. Every day I have the blues. But when you see me worrying, baby, you know it's you I hate to lose. Whoa, 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 nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. No, nobody loves me. Oh, honey, nobody seems to care. Oh, but when it's hard fucking trouble, oh, you know I have my share. I know, Brianna, you had your share too. Every day, every day, every day, all the day, every day, every day, every day, all the day, every day, not just some, all the time, all the, every time, in the morning time, in the noon time, in the night time, every day, every day, I've got the blues. Every day, I got the blues. You can be worried, baby, it's you I hate to lose. She got it every day, Lezlie. You have it every day? Here you go.
I got the blues. I got the blues every day. Every day I got the blues. I don't know whether to wear my sneakers or to wear my high heel shoes.
Chaque jour, chaque soir, j'ai le bleu. Je te jure, chaque soir, chaque jour, j'ai le bleu. C'est grand. So go ba who be you bobe when let it
You got the blues? I know you got to have the blues.
Somehow I got the blues. Somehow I got the blues. To the United Nations, every day I have the blues.
Oh, a lot of reasons to have the blues instead. So you got the blues? I know you know something about the blues. saying that sing for your hope, but I know you got the blues. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. I see you worried. Tomoko, Jen J, Lezlie, Adi, Sherry, Zoe, Brianna, Ella, Melissa, thank you. Thank you to the UN. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the Center of Partnerships. We're so grateful to have this opportunity to be here with you and celebrate the great women in jazz. Present, past, and future.
I have no words. I just want to say a big thank you for joining us for an inspiring conversation, and wow, 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 what a remarkable performance. It's like I don't want it to end. The late set should just keep going and going. So I ask all of us, let's carry forward what jazz has really, what all of you have said taught us. Listen deeply, lift each other up, improvise with courage, be prepared, and never be afraid to change the key. That's right, never be afraid to change the key. Thank you for being with us at Goals Lounge, and thank you for celebrating these amazing, incredible, beautiful women. Thank you.
Thank you. Got us all in though. Brianna?
It's very easy to do. Extraordinary. This was this started out as a conversation in this room between myself and Lucy. Lucy, come over here, please. She's the energy behind all of what happens in this room. Nobody deserves more credit for all of the wonderful things that happened today than Lucy. Lucy Brigham, amazing, a ball of energy. She's always positive and forward thinking, man, I tell you, working with you, and you know, you wouldn't believe that this is the first time that we actually had a chance to work together, right? This is our very first time, and it's not going to be the last, right? We're gonna be hanging out in this room for weeks and weeks to come. In fact, next month is Jazz Appreciation Month. And so we'll be in this room for Jazz Appreciation Month, celebrating International Jazz Day. So we'll have more to talk about that event. So stay tuned to WBGO and all that stuff, and we'll tell you more about it. You want to talk?
Yeah, just one thing. Today, a big day for the UN Fashion Lifestyle Network, our initiative, because we have welcomed to the network WBGO and Jazz House Kids. So, that's right. How exciting is that?
A true honor.
Yes.
A true honor.
We should probably also thank your team.
Absolutely.
Because without them,
Emma, come on, Emma. Come on, your team. Yes. Anne Marie, would you come? Can we take one bow? This has really been
amazing.
It has really been an incredible experience.
We hoped for much, but we got so much more.
That's right. That's right.
So,
the journey.
Thank you.
The best of us. Ready?
Congratulations.
Together we truly are an instrument for change.